topic of this session is a cautionary tale on why OKRs and other frameworks often fail. And the client story I want to bring you is a large nonprofit, one that has a great vision, mission, but a number of organizational issues. So they implement OKRs, and in this case, they were primarily focusing on the format. So they've adopted the format, the objectives and key results format, into their existing ways of working, in hope that will create more focus and fix alignment and other issues. And OKR's format did expose lack of alignment. This did expose lack of focus, capacity challenges, technical debt challenges, the trade-offs. But because they didn't focus on how they were to implement the OKRs, the approach, they primarily implemented the format. They haven't fixed some of the organizational issues, so everything was still the highest priority. They couldn't prioritize key results, for example. They had too many key results, too many objectives. People were still overburdened. When they were using OKRs to inspire others, leaders still had lack of trust. So because of that, the benefits were limited, you could say flat. The adoption was slow. There's value in exposing these problems using the format, but there would have been a lot more value if they've used a tailored approach and implemented OKRs in a way that would best allow them to address their challenges, basically. So that wasn't the case, and it took them another 2-3 years to modify how they were using OKRs, to modify the approach to get better results. And it's a common pattern that when we use these different frameworks, whether OKRs, V2MOM, big bets, goal-setting frameworks, that we expect them to fix large organizational issues, like everything's important. And at the beginning, they simply expose the issue. And you can use John Doerr's famous quote from Measure What Matters. We must realize and act on the realization that if we try to focus on everything, we really focus on nothing. The format doesn't fix that problem. You need an specific approach in order to fix that problem. So don't assume that by reading the book, you look at the format. The format is deceitfully simple. And if you may think, if I implement the format in my existing ways of working without changing the org, without fixing the systematic issues, I'm going to get all these great benefits: focus, alignment, clarity, stretch. But those are just frameworks. Like, there's multiple ways to use frameworks. Some organizations use just one OKR per year to create significant focus. Other organizations use many OKRs to have a great coverage. Some organizations use OKRs at a personal level. Some organizations do not use OKRs at a personal level. Some organizations use OKRs to stretch. Some organizations don't. So there's various ways to implement these frameworks, these goal-setting frameworks, depending on your organization and depending on the different challenges you have. So the approach matters, both the implementation approach and the operationalization. How do you operationalize these frameworks later? And that only comes from experience. Like, you're not going to get that by reading the book. You're going to have to hire someone that has done this, know this. So, yes, if you've implemented some of these and you're not getting the results you want, look at your approach.